Now I'd like you to explore listening in a completely different way that encourages you to think about what specific sounds mean to us. You'll need a pen and some paper, and I'm going to ask you to consider these questions. As I do this, I'll demonstrate my own answers to give you an idea of how you might approach this question. So, question 1. Think of a sound that you can only hear where you live and write it down. So for me, the seagull tapping on my window. Where can you hear this sound? I can hear it throughout my house, and it's quite loud and quite annoying. What time can you hear this sound? So this seagull, I'm guessing he's a he, mostly does this at 8 in the morning. Question 4. How long do you think this sound has been happening? I think it's been happening for 8 years because the man that used to live in my house used to feed them. I've been here for 5 years now, and neighbours currently feed seagulls bread on a wall opposite my house, but the seagull still comes to my house and taps on my window. 5. Do you think this sound is likely to survive? So yeah, if the seagulls are fed, they will keep tapping. Possibly several years this will survive. 6. How unique is this sound? Can it be heard anywhere else? So I'm sure other people have seagulls tapping on their windows, so it's probably not a unique sound, but it's also not a common sound either. 7. Do you think this sound should be recorded to keep its memory alive? See, I do. I like recording sounds to keep their memories alive because sounds are sometimes impermanent. So although it annoys me, it is a nice, clear sound. 8. Do you like this sound? Do you dislike it? Do you barely notice it? So for me, the seagull is irritating, and sometimes I barely notice it as I'm getting used to it. So I suppose a mixture of the two. 9. Is this sound important to you, and why? So I'd miss it if it was gone, as it tells me that I'm home. So I suppose it is important to me. And 10. How does it make you feel? So for me, it makes me feel comforted because I know that I'm home. So when we think about sound in this way, it helps us to realise that sound is really important to us and can tell us something interesting about our home. So what do you think the tapping seagull tells us about my home? There are no right or wrong answers, as the way that we experience sound is unique and subjective. But I believe that the tapping seagull tells me that I live near the sea, that people in my area are probably kind because they feed animals and birds, and also that seagulls are really demanding and impatient, and when they want their dinner, they're going to do whatever it takes to get it. On the next screen, you'll see a reminder of each of the 10 questions that I'd like you to consider. Have a go. Think of a sound that you can only hear at your home and answer each of these questions in turn. When you've finished, discuss them with others.